And checking this out, it's really unfathomable how long it's been. Just over 11 years later, NCAA Football 2014 can rest. It's been 4,025 days. What is up, everybody? It is Jake back with the MF Film Room. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on all things EA College Football, hit that red subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you like college football content, go subscribe to my other channel, Master Football with Jake Posey. Link is in the description. But enough about all that EA College Football content. Let's go. Well, with the release of EA College Football, the deluxe edition this past Monday, and then we have the regular edition coming out tomorrow, actually tonight at midnight, wherever you're purchasing it from. We are going to celebrate that new game because it is such an incredible game from what we've seen. I've played it so much, it is absolutely amazing. Now, with how good it is, because it's not the greatest game in the world, obviously, but it is a very, very good game. It is super, super playable. I mean, even Eric Rayweather was like, this game made me feel young again. That is insane. EA College Football 25 is equivalent to TRT. We all know that. Now, this video in particular, though, is about NCAA Football 2014. I wanted to wait on this video because I wasn't quite sure. Again, you're like, oh, the game's coming out. It's going to be so cool. People tell you, oh, this game is cooked, but you don't really know until you actually get your hands on the game. And once we did, we realized this game is incredible. Now that we know for sure that we can put NCAA Football 2014 to bed, I think we need to take an opportunity here to appreciate this game, because as much as we just, oh yeah, no, it's on EA College Football 25. Remember what just happened. Again, we know that 700,000 people were playing on the 15th. 700,000 people, $100 a game, $70 million, maybe even more than that with those deluxe copies that include Madden. Again, that was on Monday. It can only go up from here, maybe not consecutively, but this is incredible. This game is making tons of money. It is awesome. However, like I said, this video is about NCAA Football 2014. We got Daniel Rebane. He says here, NCAA Football 2014, you can rest now. Thank you for all you did these past 11 years on my Xbox 360. You had a generational run. Today is the last day. Today is the day for College Football 25 and the beginning of a new era in sports video games. 4 p.m. Can't get here any sooner. It was 2 p.m. for me. I'm Mountain Standard Time. This was before the game came out. But when it did, we all realized that actually, no, EA College Football 25 has taken that mantle from NCAA Football 2014. And checking this out, it's really unfathomable how long it's been. Just over 11 years later, NCAA Football 2014 can rest. It's been 4,025 days from the time this game came out until EA College Football came out. And you see here from Jason from Huskerland says, it is done. The legendary game has earned its rest. What I want to do with this video is go through the history of the game because it's a brief history. Also, my personal connection to the game, kind of where it went wrong, and then ultimately at the end here, I want to go through why we are ultimately still looking forward to EA College Football 25 more than this game. Again, it's taken the mantle. That doesn't mean we don't throw away the past, celebrate it, but move on to something hopefully better in the future. So this game here, NCAA Football 2014, came out on July 9th of 2013. I actually had a video about this where Malik Neighbors, who just got drafted from LSU, who just got drafted by the New York Giants, when this game came out, he was just about to turn 10. He was 9 years old. And then when the new game came out, he was 21 years old and he was drafted in the NFL. So we have entire generations of kids. A lot of Gen Z kids have not been playing this game like we used to play this game. Again, I'm a millennial, and this was what I was raised on. This game was absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, the last one of its kind. And checking out the history of this, it's so cool to see what this kind of came from. So come all the way back here. We've got Bill Walsh College Football in 93. Only 24 teams were on the game. And then the next iteration of the game came out and it had 36 teams. Whoa, we had a 50% increase. And then College Football 96 took away the Bill Walsh name. And eventually we got 108 teams at the time for D1, all the way back down here. The first one I ever played was NCAA Football 2004 with Carson Palmer on the cover. I played a little bit with 2003 when Joey Harrington was on the cover, but this is back when I made my first created team and all that stuff. I love this. Is the first game where I really fell in love with the series, NCAA Football 2004. And then we come down here all the way to the end, and then it ended right here. Again, there was multiple people who were potentially going to be on the cover. Eddie Lacy, Cheeseburger Eddie, Kenyon Barner, Jarvis Jones, E.J. Manuel, Ryan Swope from Texas A&M, John Simon, and Tyler Eifert from Notre Dame. A personal story here was, again, so when I was at Boise State, and it was awesome. Sitting around Boise State's 2011, NCAA Football 2012 came out, and I was literally walking across campus. They're like, hey, you want to be in the tournament? I'm like, tournament? What the hell are you talking about? Like, yeah, we got an NCAA football tournament here. I'm like, what? This is a game I'm absolutely obsessed with at this point. So I go to this tournament, and again, it was a 128-man bracket. I win the whole game. It was incredible. The semifinals was actually harder than the finals. I had a last second, 10 seconds to go. I scored a touchdown. I threw a 4 verts, through the tight end 4 verts up the middle there. Scored a touchdown. It was incredible. What with that? They're like, hey, by the way, you get to go to the Rose Bowl now. And I'm like, what? I got to go to the Rose Bowl? And I got to see this game. So me playing video games got me to go see this game. It took me and my brother. I called my brother afterwards. I was like, you want to go to the Rose Bowl? He was like, what? I'm like, dude, I just got a free trip to the Rose Bowl. Went to this game. This one right here is an incredible game. Russell Wilson, DeAnthony Thomas, 2 carries for 155 yards. The Oregon jerseys were incredible. It was like 80-20 Wisconsin fans. It was so cool to see this game. This was the game here. When you check out this play-by-play, all the way down here at the very end, the very last play of the game was actually, it was a fourth, right here, time expired. He spiked the ball, Russell Wilson did, and the clock expired when he did it. Game was over as they were making their fourth quarter drive to win the game. We had so many good memories from this game. And ultimately, though, how do I say this? This Ed O'Bannon versus the NCAA, everybody's blaming Ed O'Bannon. This is a good case because now college football players, college sports athletes are able to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. Before, it was this weird, oh yeah, you're amateurs, but we're going to keep all the money. It was one of those deals. Now they're able to be compensated because of this. However, this case right here, where they were being charged or being used their name, image, and likeness to be profited off of, but they weren't giving access to that money. This overturned that. And as a matter of fact, it's gotten to the point where it was like, these are like 9-0 cases in favor of athletes versus the universities. I mean, this is a cross, a political divide thing in the United States. Everybody knows that student athletes were getting screwed. They're no longer anymore because of this case. And even when the game went away, it didn't actually go away. You saw how passionate this fan base was about this game. They actually saved this franchise. So you see, saved NCAA Football 2014. What they actually did was you could get modded PlayStations and modded Xboxes to actually be able to play college football revamped with the updated jerseys, with, again, it was mostly updated graphics. There was a couple things like that, but for the most part, the engine was the same. You could play with Coastal Carolina, who was added into FBS football from 2013 until now. There's so many things from this game that were, again, look at the presentation difference, the top and the bottom. This is what the community was about. They're all about this, adding this into the game. That's how much passion there was. Those 4,000 days, people weren't just sitting on their hands. They were super passionate about making sure that this game stayed alive as long as it could. And we got that news in 2021, February 2021, when they had the update that basically said, hey, by the way, guys, it's coming back. It took us probably 12 months longer than we thought it was going to take. We thought this was going to come out last year. I will tell you, they did an incredible job with this game so far, considering the fact that all they've had is they've had a couple of Madden items that they could bring over, but not all of it, although Madden reskin, guys. So what they've done is incredible. However, I want to make sure that we're honest about NCAA Football 2014 because a lot of people are going to be like, oh yeah, I remember the nostalgia. NCAA Football 2014 was way better than this game. Let me just make sure we're clear about something. You can still be one of the most iconic games of your time because nothing was made beyond it. But that's not to say there weren't problems with NCAA Football 2014. All right, so again, with those issues here, so Online Dynasty cannot use custom offensive playbooks in PvP. Whenever I did this, it would always freeze for me. I don't know what you guys had, but I couldn't have custom offensive playbooks in PvP, so we just outlawed them. You'd also randomly get a coordinator without points and cannot accumulate points. Sometimes you just have a coordinator, and they just wouldn't be able to be given points. It was incredible. It was terrible. You cannot pick your coordinators. Again, now on the new game, they give you the ability to do that. Although on the last game, NCAA Football 2014, you could edit their points. This game, you can't. I prefer selecting people and having them be their own autonomous thing, as opposed to I get to adjust them while they're with me, but then when they leave, they can leave whenever they want to. Off-man coverage always loses versus a curl thrown on time, no matter how good the cornerback, no matter how bad the wide receiver. That on the new game has been addressed. Some of those corners on the new games are dogs. Quarterbacks with at least 80 accuracy are basically all you need. Yeah, the passing was way too easy on NCAA Football 2014. User offense was too good. Again, user offense was too good. The computer passing offense was, unless it was somebody just beating you deep on 4 verts or something like that, it wasn't very good. Option was completely overpowered. They put that in the game. They wanted to make sure that they could emphasize that, but it was completely overpowered. It was way too good. There were no RPOs. They had a couple. They even mentioned that Ben Howmiller, the lead dev, he was like, yeah, we were trying to get in there. We couldn't quite get it in there, but we got partial aspects of it in the game. We all know that for your coaching tree, now that they've got those 11 trees, this one they had 2, and the recruiter tree was way overpowered compared to the coaching tree. You'd be like, oh yeah, Coach Stradamus, or how about just getting a bunch of good players? It was way better for that. You also can recruit 5 stars at 1-star prestige programs. That is happening to somewhat at EA College Football 25, but not nearly to the degree. I mean, you could literally be just incredible at recruiting and be a 1 or 2-star prestige team, bring in some 5-star. Oh, this 5 stars being forgotten to be offered by a bunch of people. Ratings agencies know, and they actually will improve people's ratings depending upon who offers them. So the fact that a 4 or a 5-star could have no offers is kind of, it's an oxymoron in that case. Computer offense is trash. I already mentioned that before. Computer situational awareness is lacking. You'd be driving down and you'd be at like the 10-yard line and you'd be taking knees to end the clock and they wouldn't take their timeouts. There'd be stupid things like that. The computer cannot throw after scrambling. So there, again, if your quarterback starts, if you are, it's 40 yards deep in coverage and the quarterback is in the pocket and he's a computer quarterback and he starts scrambling, you could take off from 40 yards deep. And if you could meet him, you could tackle him. It was ridiculous. Throwing on the run didn't exist. Of course, that has been changed. Insta throwaway by user QBs. So I shouldn't say user QBs. I should say computer QBs, where you blitz, they just instantly throw the ball away. That's not as unrealistic depending upon what's happening with the game logic there. But again, it was a little bit annoying. Spies don't pursue when the quarterback breaks the pocket. So if you set a spy and the quarterback rolls out, the spy will run over and just stand right there at the line of scrimmage and just sit there and watch him. Now he will pursue him, which is much more realistic to make sure you prevent those scrambling quarterbacks. Again, I mentioned before, you cannot throw on the run. CPU punters, they're absolutely terrible. The whip technique on kick returns. Anybody look up the whip technique. You basically take your kick returner and you just cut them really hard right before you get to the group of people who are covering you, and then you'll just be able to outrun everybody. It was a whip technique. It was completely overpowered. Although now kick returns actually look like you can take them up the middle on EA College Football 25. It's actually kind of cool like that. You're not being able to set team builder rivals. That's one of the stupidest things ever. Not auto-advancing, having to make sure that the commissioner was there. He had to advance it. And sometimes, I calculated it one time, it took 3 minutes to advance the week. Now it takes like 8 seconds, maybe even like 5 seconds. Wide receivers and tight ends switching positions in the hurry up. So you'd have trips over here, you'd switch to new formation, and a tight end would end up at wide receiver slot, and the wide receiver would end up at the tight end slot. The wide receiver tight end would try to block. He'd get blown up. Super annoying when that happened. You cannot pick computers' jerseys for games. Now they've addressed this because playing Oregon meant nothing if you weren't Oregon because you couldn't pick their jerseys. And also with the way that dynasties work, you could actually play 4 to 5 rain games in a row because the game would get on some sort of kick and you just always play rain games. It was super annoying. With EA College Football coming out, it has done an incredible job at taking the legacy from NCAA Football 2014. NCAA Football 2014 wasn't a perfect game. You saw all my issues right there that I went through. It wasn't a perfect game, but again, 4,000 plus days of carrying the mantle for college football video games. I had an Xbox Series X and I'm playing on Xbox 360. Just skipped out the Xbox One totally because of this game. It was incredible, but because of the quality of EA College Football 25, we no longer have to play NCAA Football 2014. NCAA Football 2014, you may rest. All right, guys, get in the comments. Let me know what your favorite memory of NCAA Football 2014 is, the history, some of the things you like, some of the things you didn't. Let me know all that stuff, what you're looking so forward to with EA College Football 25. You get in the comments and let me know. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that stuff. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you guys later. I am out.